She didn't. It's your bad luck I happened to pick up that phone. Well, that's it, Glenn. You pull one more stroke like this and we're finished.
You don't mean that.
Try me.
All right. It's over. I won't mention it again. I can't fight you anymore.
We've got so much already.
I know.
Come on. I know how you feel. You want a kid. Not this way. I just can't go along with it. You got to try and understand.
Yeah.
We'll do it in easy stages, like we said. Why don't you come over and see that house tonight before we lose it?
If you like.
It's all practically settled. All it needs is your approval. Could be moving in a month. Don't give us much time, does it? You've got to get your skates on. Carpets, furniture, curtains. I thought we might take in a couple of sales, pick up some useful stuff there. Some bedroom furniture at home we could have. Hey, I thought we could...
Will you stop it, please?
What's the matter now?
Oh, something to be for.
Oh, right, love.
You're
I
really
love you,
getting
and I know
involved
I am.
again, aren't you?
Oh, hello. First home tonight, then.
Yeah, we both finished early. We're thinking of going over to see the house tonight. You and Mum want to come?
Oh, you try and stop her. Here, Kath, do you want to go and have a look at that house they're buying?
Oh, that'd be nice. Are they expecting us?
Yeah, they said I could go round any time. Perhaps I ought to give them a ring before we leave.
Oh, right. I'll get on with the supper then. Oh, be a love, will you? And take Mac's groceries through. They're in the kitchen. Just one or two things he asked me to get for him.
Yeah, sure.
If he's not in, just leave them on the back porch.
You managed to talk him round, then?
No. I never will.
Oh, pity. I thought that you both
He's won,
seen...
hasn't he? I've given up.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us, love. Your mother's persuaded me not to retire.
Come in. You know David Hunter can't bear you to set foot in this office.
I know it very well, so I'll make it quick.
Make it outside.
Look, Mrs. Hamilton...
Outside?
They are freezing the will. I thought you'd like, or perhaps not like to know, as soon as possible. It's been frozen pending further inquiries, which means, among other things, that you can't proceed to sell the casino until those inquiries are ended. I have informed the agents for you.
Further inquiries about what?
I can't think.
That's unusual.
Well, it often happens that wills are held...
No, I mean it's unusual that you can't think why.
They say they are acting on information received, and that is all I know.
Wait a minute. Information received from his daughter?
I don't see how that could be possible yet.
Yet?
Well, I mean, she hasn't been traced yet, has she?
If she hasn't been traced, who else is there who has such an interest in that will that they'd be willing to volunteer information? Oh, I assume it was volunteered.
Anonymously, I believe.
And did it take you a lot of effort to persuade yourself to believe that, Richard?
I don't follow you.
I'm asking you if you laid that information.
I really don't see why you should jump to such an unlikely conclusion.
Well, you yourself have ruled out the daughter. So who else is there?
Well, there's this Miss Marshall, who just might have done it.
Marshall?
Well, it's only a small thought.
Enlarge on it, Richard. You never know.
Well, she could be taken to have shown undue interest in you. No doubt you'll recall the trouble she went to in asking Paul Ross to approach you about a temporary membership for the casino that you now own.
I only own it if this information you say has been received doesn't invalidate Tony's will.
Yes, there is that.
And why would your Miss Marshall want to bring that about?
I didn't say that she had.
You implied it.
There's the difference.
Explain the implication, Richard.
I simply pointed out the oddity of her coming to this motel and then wanting to gamble at your casino. Which, despite all the efforts she went to in getting a temporary membership, from what I hear, she played like a rank beginner, ignorant of the most elementary rules. Could mean that she is connected with Tony Moran's daughter in some way. He's nosing about for her. Could mean that she's a relative, hoping to get something out of the will. Could mean anything. Or nothing. Simply something for you to confine your suspicions to instead of concentrating them on me.
Nothing you have ever done has been as meagerly contemptible as what you've done just now.
Meagerly contemptible?
The smallest action of the smallest of men. You would throw to the lions a young girl that you've persuaded to become an unwilling accomplice just to distract attention from yourself.
Said that girl and I were accomplices in anything.
She implied it.
Implied what?
What are you frightened of, Richard?
I'm not frightened of anything, Mrs. Hamilton. I have never taken Miss Marshall into any
Oh,
of
come off it, Richard. She's not Miss Marshall. She's Tony Moran's daughter. You know that perfectly well. The only trouble is that you didn't realize until now that I knew it as well. Get out. Get out of this office. Get out of my life. And consider yourself dismissed from the staff of the casino as of now.
I can't be dismissed as of now, Mrs. Hamilton. You don't own the casino while that will is frozen. And the information received suggests that when it is unfrozen, it won't be me that'll have to leave the casino, but you. In the meantime, I trust that we'll rub along and attend to whatever business arises, amicably as ever.
So, what happens now?
Posting.
Where?
I don't know.
Well, when will you know?
When they decide to tell me.
Don't you have any say?
Some, but not a lot.
Doesn't it bother you?
Not really. Why is it you?
Well, I don't fancy being stuck right out in the sticks.
The bright lights, then, eh?
I don't fancy them much either.
Hard to please, aren't we?
Famous for it. Why do you have to go?
Because I don't like working under a cloud.
It'll settle.
They'll always be the dust, the memory, and I don't like fresh-faced little irks looking at me knowing I've muffed it.
Oh, come on, come on.
No, you come on. It's no good for respect. You need the discipline, the people working under you. You know that as well as I do. I mean, look at old Tidmarsh. I mean, a right soft old touch, wasn't he?
He's well liked.
Yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. For your run-of-the-mill stuff, he's your man, but not for this boy. I was toying with the idea of applying for London.
Why?
Well, there's more to do, more going on, more chance to prove yourself.
Really burns you up, doesn't it? Don't let it become an obsession, eh? That could do damage.
Can't have that, can we?
No, I mean it, sweetheart. It can eat away at you, and it can change you.
Talking from experience, are we?
Some, yeah.
Well, all I can say is it seems to have changed you for the better.
Oh, who is that?
I'll get it.
Want to buy a sun lamp?
Dad!
Lash, how are you?
All right.
Ah,
All right.
Sharon!
Hi.
Wow, lovelier than ever.
Silver-tongued globetrotter.
No, I mean it, you look terrific. This boy must be taken care of, you, eh?
Yes, he does that. Yes, he does.
Well, I went round to the house and I thought to myself, where has my wandering boy got to? And then I didn't have to think for very long.
We're having some wine?
Did I ever say no?
No.
Well, how's things then?
Oh, yeah. Not so dusty?
Good. You really took the wind out of my sails with that suggestion about coming back. I mean, I haven't planned on doing that for quite a long time. But when you paved the way, I went out and booked myself on the first available flight.
And how's the jet lag?
Never heard of it.
It'll get you in the end.
Oh, no. Back in the old country. Do you know, I have actually dreamed about this. Can't tell you what it means to me.
That means a lot to all of us, Dad.
You back again? You're a devil for punishment, aren't you?
Yeah, I went for something to eat.
Did you oil his clutch pedal?
Did they, yeah?
Come on, man, it's screeching. It's driving him mad.
He's been going mad for years.
You know, I've been thinking
Now, do it first thing in the morning before he picks it up, will you?
about what Sharon said.
What was that, then?
Well, you ain't gonna lose your jobs.
Oh, she's not on about that again, is she?
Well, that's what she said.
Listen, Benny, she can say whatever she likes, and she means well. But when it comes down to the crunch, there's not a lot she can do. She just hasn't got the muscle. No, I mean, she can just about break the news to us gently, and that's her lot. You know, people like J. Henry, they ride over us roughshod. They're the big wheels, man.
Yeah, but big wheels have been known to stop turning.
Right?
Stick a spoke in them.
Us?
Why not?
How?
A sit-in.
You're crazy. Me, you and Benny squatting on the ramp.
I said about buying.
Eh?
Well, to Miss Sharon, I said about buying the garage, but she said I ain't got enough.
Oh, that's for sure.
Hey, wait a minute. You may have something there. We may have some sort of deal here.
You're mad.
Well, he's got 25,000 quid, hasn't he? If we come in with our share, that would make one hell of a down payment, wouldn't it?
No, I know you're mad.
Well, listen.
Look, I'm stuck for raising 25 quid, mate.
Well, borrow.
Oh, yeah, just stick my hand out.
You've got a house as collateral.
Look, I don't own it. I owe it.
Look, okay, it can be done. You just go into hot big. I mean, you'd be a proprietor, man. Think of that.
Oh, yeah. And where'd you get your share from?
From Mavis.
Oh, that will be the day.
Listen, man, she's always on about that house being too big for her. Ever since she came out of hospital, she can't manage it. It's worth a lot of money. It's a going concern, right? We can make money with that, buy her something for her to make her happy, invest the rest in this lot.
And you could talk her into it.
I could talk an Eskimo into buying frozen fish fingers.
That'd be good, that, wouldn't it?
Great.
The three of us, all together the same.
Great. We'd be equal partners.
Yeah.
Just seen your Richard Lord bearing down on our poor Ross, looking as if he'd like to kill him.
I expect he would.
Even so, they stood themselves a manly drink at the bar and went into a corner, into a huddle.
Yes, they would.
If they're thinking up any schemes to put the ex-Miss Marshall through, I shall set David on them. Actually, I came quite unstuck with that girl trying tact on her. She's a very cool number. Mind you, there's something I quite like about her.
Yes, none of this is her fault.
I'm glad you agree with me. Kate? What's wrong? You look
Dreadful, yes, I know.
No, you look like you did when you first arrived here.
Well, I was trying to get over a shock then.
Well, obviously you're trying to get over another one now. Would you like a drink?
No, thanks.
Yes, I think you need one.
Richard Lord is furious with Paul Ross for not warning him that we all know about Tony Moran's daughter. So just now, Richard's made a fool of himself in here, still pretending to me that she was Miss Marshall. He's going to be even more vicious when he gets to the girl herself. They're a strange crew. They can't even trust each other.
I'd still put my money on that girl being innocent.
So would I. If I've got any money left by the time Richard Lord's finished with me. They've frozen the will. Information received.
What information?
I don't know. Richard couldn't or wouldn't tell me. Oh, I'm not worried about the will. I've made my own way for years. It's the information received that worries me. Barbara, when you failed to get rid of that girl, what did she say?
I thought I told you, Kate.
Or spared me? Did she say that she thought that I was responsible for her father's death?
No, she didn't say that.
Or anything like it? Please tell me, Barbara, it's important.
So I get hauled up in front of the super and told him out of my ear. Oh, he wraps it up nicely, of course. He's a nice fella. Hand on my shoulders, he's showing me the door. But what it boils down to is I don't think I've got what it takes to pull the big one.
You do. You know you do.
Yeah, well, they don't.
So why stay? I mean, why stay where you don't appreciate it, What have I been telling you all these years? And in the end, who's right? Me or you? I mean, you're just bashing out against a brick wall, aren't you? And for why? Where's the reward?
I always thought the job had its own
I know
reward.
what you thought. I know what you thought. But look, you've got to see some action, haven't you? I mean, you've got to see some kind of recognition. I mean, if they can't see that, well...
It's not impossible that they're right.
Now, you cut that out. You know what I think? I think you should walk right in there and tell them to stuff it. Well, they've had their chance, haven't they? You've given them a fair whack. If that's the way they want to play it... Listen. I got things brewing out east that could turn you into something really significant. But that's where the action is. And there's no rules, no regulations, no red tape. All you need is a fistful of the readies, you know what I mean? All right. So there's a little bit of graft involved.
Really?
Yes, really. And if you know some place in this world where there isn't any, you point me in that direction. But the point is, son, you be your own boss. You get your foot on the rung of the ladder and you start climbing. Like I did. All right, I may not be at the top of the heap, but when I look down, there's an awful lot of fellas below me. Think about it, then.
Right. Will I do?
Oh, ask a silly question.
So where are we going?
Oh, into town, the bright lights, live it up a bit.
Take my mind off my problems.
She got problems.
Like J. Henry Pollard buying the garage and me being out of a job.
All right, I'll see him tomorrow and give him something to think about. Come on, Ash, it's time to wipe the gloom off your face. Come on, son. It's time to start looking at the world through new eyes, huh?
From what you both told me, I think you should answer Kate's question, Barbara.
Which one?
Well, did the girl in any way suggest she wouldn't budge from this place because she suspected that
But
Kate
I had a hand in Tony's death.
What she said exactly was that if we tried to get the police in to throw her out of here, not that I'd threatened to, that she would tell them every scrap of evidence she collected about you.
Evidence in what context?
Well, she didn't spell that out.
But it doesn't need spelling out, does it? The death, what she thinks is my part in it. But the word Richard Lord will have put into her head isn't death, it's murder.
She can't stay here. This time I'll do it.
No, you can't, David. Nobody's to do it.
It would be intolerable
Look,
if she...
Barbara's quite right. If she's made to leave, it'll look much worse for me than if she's allowed to stay. It'll look as if I've got something to hide. Something very damaging.
And the largest question arising from all this is why was Richard Lord so determined to make the girl suspect you, Kate? Now, why?
Malice. Simple as that.
Oh, that's too simple. He had something he needed to conceal, but what?
Hey, what? Going down here? It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I didn't mean to wake you. Can you sit down for a minute?
What?
Please, I want to ask you something.
What's going on? What is all this?
Well, if you'll listen, I'll tell you. Will you change your mind?
What are you going on about?
Look, it's important. Will you? About the baby.
Oh, not that. Look, I thought we'd settle that once and for all. You like the house, don't you?
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with it, will you?
It takes some convincing. No, that's fine. So you can stop
Not
playing...
knowing it's the only thing I want in the world.
Oh, I don't know hear any more about it.
Well, that's it then.
I hope so.
I don't think I can forgive you for this, Kevin. You know what you're saying. You don't love me.
Glenn, I'm not awake. I can't take it in. Come back to bed and we'll talk about it later.
I shan't be here later. Will you make sure Mum gets this, please?
Glenn, what are you playing at?
Oh, that's my taxi.
What? That was so stupid. Where do you think you're going?
No, I'll have to go. I'll wait Mum and Dad. Look, Kevin, let go.
You might as well give up right now.
I'm going. I mean it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll go without it.